Before Slash's screaming solos and Axl's legendary voice, there was someone quietly holding the band together, the unsung hero, the heartbeat behind the chaos. His name, Izzy Stradlin, rhythm guitarist, songwriter, the hidden force that defined Guns N' Roses. Today, we're diving into the story of the man who shaped the band's sound, from the early streets of Indiana to the bright lights of L.A., the friend, the musician, the mystery, and why his touch on the guitar made him the true heart of Guns N' Roses. Stradlin was born 1962 in Lafayette, Indiana. His father was an engraver. His mother worked for a phone company. Stradlin has stated that he grew up in Florida and moved with my mom to Lafayette. His parents divorced when Stradlin was 8. His mother moved Stradlin and his 2 younger brothers to Lafayette, Indiana. Of his hometown, Stradlin said, "It was cool growing up there. There's a courthouse and a college, a river and railroad tracks. It's a small town, so there wasn't much to do. We rode bikes, smoked pot, got into trouble. It was pretty Beavis and Butthead, actually." Izzy's grandfather's half-brother, Joseph William Little Joe Isbell, was born 1916. He was also a recording and touring artist, described as a country yodeler. Stradlin developed an interest in music early in life. By the age of 8, his musical favorites included Bob Dylan, Pink Floyd, Alice Cooper, and Led Zeppelin. His biggest musical influence was his paternal grandmother, who played drums in a swing jazz band with her friends. Inspired, Stradlin talked his parents into buying him a drum kit. In high school, Stradlin started a band with his friends, one of whom was singer William Bailey, later known as Axl Rose. Stradlin recalled, "We were long-haired guys in high school. You were either a jock or a stoner. We weren't jocks, so we ended up hanging out together. We'd play covers in the garage. There were no clubs to play at, so we never made it out of the garage." Despite his aversion to school, Stradlin graduated in 1980 with a D average, the only original member of Guns N' Roses with a high school diploma. Set on a career in music, he subsequently moved to Los Angeles. Shortly after his arrival in Los Angeles, Stradlin joined punk band Naughty Women. During his ill-fated first show with the band, audience members began attacking the musicians. Stradlin recalled, "I just grabbed a cymbal stand and stood on the side trying to fend them off, yelling, 'Get the F away from me, man.' That was my introduction to the rock scene in L.A." In 1983, Stradlin formed Hollywood Rose with childhood friend Axl Rose, who had moved to Los Angeles the previous year. In January 1984, the band recorded a 5-song demo featuring the tracks Killing Time, Anything Goes, Rocker, Shadow of Your Love, and Reckless Life, which were released in 2004 as part of the compilation album The Roots of Guns N' Roses. The group disbanded in August, following which Stradlin briefly joined Sunset Strip staple London. He also formed the short-lived band Stalin with singer Eric Leach and guitarist Taz Rudd of Symbol 6. In December, he reunited with Hollywood Rose. In March 1985, Stradlin founded Guns N' Roses with Axl Rose and members of L.A. Guns, Tracy Guns, Ol Bache, and Rob Gardner, as a favor to L.A. Guns manager Raz Q, who had previously booked the act at the Troubadour. By June, the lineup consisted of Rose, guitarist Slash, rhythm guitarist Stradlin, bassist Duff McKagan, and drummer Steven Adler. They played nightclubs such as the Whiskey A Go Go, the Roxy, and the Troubadour, and opened for larger acts throughout 1985 and 1986. During this period, the band wrote much of its classic material, and Stradlin established himself as a key songwriter. Don't Cry was co-written by Axl Rose and Izzy Stradlin in March 1985, shortly after the formation of Guns N' Roses. The song's genesis was deeply personal, stemming from their shared experiences with the same woman. Axl was romantically involved with her, and Izzy had also dated her previously. The emotional turmoil and the phrase "Don't Cry" became central themes in the song's creation. In a 2021 concert, Axl Rose recounted the song's creation. "I went over to Izzy's, and I threw some rocks at his window. He came to the window and was worried I came over there to kick his ass. We'd been in an argument for a few months. It was like the Blues Brothers. We got to get the band back together. We sat down, and I was like, 'Hey, I got some really depressing lyrics.' He was like, 'I got a really depressing guitar part.' I was like, 'Perfect, we got it made.'" In July 1987, Guns N' Roses released their debut album, Appetite for Destruction, which has sold over 28 million copies worldwide, including 18 million in the United States alone. Stradlin wrote or co-wrote most of its songs. He also wrote the hit Patience on the follow-up GNR Lies, released in November 1988 to U.S. sales of 5 million copies. As their success grew, so did tensions within the band. In 1989, opening for the Rolling Stones, Rose made an onstage announcement in which he threatened to leave the band if Slash and Adler did not stop dancing with Mr. Brownstone. After being sentenced to a year's probation for urinating in public aboard an airplane, after which the band nicknamed him Wizzy, Stradlin decided to attain sobriety. He returned to his house in Indiana, where he detoxed. In September 1991, Guns N' Roses released the long-awaited Use Your Illusion 1 and Use Your Illusion 2, which debuted at number 2 and number 1, respectively, in the U.S. chart, an unprecedented feat. Stradlin co-wrote the hits Don't Cry and You Could Be Mine, and performed lead vocals on Dust and Bones, You Ain't the First, Double Talk and Jive, and 14 Years. As with their previous records, his preferred guitar during recording was a Gibson ES-175. By the release of the Use Your Illusion albums, Stradlin had become dissatisfied with life in Guns N' Roses. Once I quit drugs, I couldn't help looking around and asking myself, is this all there is? I was just tired of it. I needed to get out. On November 7, 1991, it was announced that he had left Guns N' Roses. Having played his final show as an official member on August 31 at Wembley Stadium, Stradlin added that getting sober played a part in his decision to leave, saying, "When you're F up, you're more likely to put up with things you wouldn't normally put up with." Following his departure from Guns N' Roses, Stradlin returned to his hometown of Lafayette, Indiana, where he began working on new material. He formed the band Izzy Stradlin and the Juju Hounds, which consisted of Stradlin on vocals and rhythm guitar, Rick Richards of Georgia Satellites on lead guitar, Jimmy Ashhurst of Broken Homes on bass, and Charlie Quintana on drums. Their self-titled debut album was released in October 1992 to positive reviews. Rolling Stone called it a ragged, blues-drenched, and thoroughly winning solo debut. In May 1993, Izzy Stradlin made a brief return to Guns N' Roses, stepping in for Gilby Clarke during 5 shows across Europe and the Middle East after Clarke broke his wrist in a motorcycle accident. It was a short-lived reunion, but one that reminded fans of Izzy's quiet influence on the band's sound. Later that year, Izzy and the Juju Hounds toured Japan for what would be their final run, ending with a show at the Shibuya Public Hall in Tokyo. Soon after, he vanished from the spotlight, spending time in the Bahamas, traveling, racing, skateboarding, and even building a motor track near his home in Indiana. By 1995, Stradlin was back in the studio, recording songs that would become his first solo album, 117. Released in 1998, the record featured Duff McKagan, Rick Richards, and drummer Taz Bentley. Izzy didn't promote the album or tour behind it, keeping true to his low-key nature. It would also be his last release on Geffen Records following the label's merger with Interscope. He returned again in 1999 with Ride On, followed by a short tour in Japan. Joined later by keyboardist Ian McClagan, the group recorded 2 more albums, River in 2001 and On Down the Road in 2002, both released exclusively in Japan. Around this time, Slash, Duff, and Matt Sorum invited Izzy to join their new project, Velvet Revolver. He wrote with them early on, but eventually turned down the offer, preferring to stay off the road and away from the spotlight, just as he always had. In 2003, Izzy Stradlin recorded his 6th album, Like a Dog, alongside Rick Richards, Taz Bentley, and JT Longoria. Though nearly 1,000 promo copies were made, the record wasn't officially released until October 2005, when Izzy, encouraged by a fan petition, made it available online. The following year, he re-released Ride On, River, On Down the Road, and Like a Dog through iTunes. In 2006, 13 years after his last performance with Guns N' Roses, Izzy made a surprise return at the band's Hammerstein Ballroom show in New York. He later played 13 shows with them on their European tour, saying, "Axl and I reconnected, and it was great to play together again. Took me about 3 weeks to recover from the 6 weeks of touring. That December, he also joined the group for 3 shows in California. In May 2007, Stradlin released Miami, his seventh album, again featuring Richards, Bentley, and Longoria, plus keyboardist Joey Huffman. Richards described it as a bit of a departure from Like a Dog, but still quite a rocker. A louder, remixed version followed in July, and later that year, Izzy dropped Fire, the acoustic album, also on iTunes. He kept a steady pace, releasing Concrete in 2008, which featured Duff McKagan on 3 tracks, including the title song. Then came Smoke in 2009, and Wave of Heat in 2010, again, with McKagan playing on 7 songs. That same year, Izzy appeared on Slash's first solo album, performing rhythm guitar on the opening track, Ghost. In April 2012, Izzy Stradlin was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as part of Guns N' Roses' classic lineup. Though he thanked the Hall, his bandmates, and fans through a statement on Duff McKagan's blog, he chose not to attend the ceremony, staying true to his private nature. A month later, he rejoined Guns N' Roses on stage for 2 shows at London's O2 Arena, performing songs including 14 Years for the first time since 1991. He later appeared at select shows in Saint-Tropez, Palma de Mallorca, and Las Vegas during the Appetite for Democracy residency. That same year, he released the single Baby Ran exclusively on iTunes, with an accompanying video on YouTube. In 2016, Stradlin confirmed he would not take part in the band's reunion tour, explaining that they didn't want to split the loot equally. Reports surfaced in 2017 that he briefly sound-checked with the group but left before performing. Izzy's last recent appearance was playing Sunshine by Jonathan Edwards and Stuck in the Middle with You by Steelers Wheel, both acoustic videos made available on YouTube. If you enjoyed this, hit like and subscribe for more guitar-related documentary. And if you want to hear the full story behind the legendary Slash tone and why he sounds so unique on Use Your Illusion, check out my other video right here.